When I showed the doctor my birthmark, he locked the exam room door and said, "How are you alive?" I went to the dermatologist because my insurance was about to expire, and I figured I should get my moles checked before I lost coverage. Standard stuff. The birthmark on my lower back had been there since birth, shaped like a weird starburst pattern. My parents called it my angel kiss growing up. Dr. Rains was young, maybe early 30s, with that efficient doctor energy where every movement is purposeful. He had me take off my shirt and started examining my back with a handheld light. He got to the birthmark and stopped completely. I felt his gloved fingers trace the edges slowly, then heard him take a sharp breath. He walked to the door, and I heard the lock click. "How are you alive?" he asked. I laughed nervously. "What? It's just a birthmark. When were you born?" "March 1997. Why?" His face went pale. He pulled out his phone, typed something, then showed me a medical diagram of a star-shaped scar pattern. "This mark matches the exact entry point of a specific surgical procedure. It was experimental, highly experimental, and it was only performed on 30 infants in 1997 before the program was shut down." My stomach dropped. "What kind of procedure?" Dr. Rains sat down on his rolling stool and looked at me like he was trying to solve a puzzle. "There was a genetics research facility in Colorado. They were testing a treatment for a fatal genetic disorder. The procedure involved implanting modified cells directly into the spinal column of newborns. The incision pattern was unique because of the angle required to reach the specific vertebrae. I twisted to look at my birthmark in the mirror, but I don't have any genetic disorder. That's the problem," he said quietly. "Every single one of those 30 children died before their 3rd birthday. The treatment was supposed to cure them, but it accelerated the condition instead. The program was shut down, the facility was closed, and the lead researcher disappeared. So you're saying I should be dead? You shouldn't exist. Not with that mark. Not past age 3. I felt my hands start shaking. My parents never mentioned any procedure. They would have told me. Dr. Rains typed something else on his phone. "What are your parents' names?" "David and Carol Brennan." "Why?" His face changed. "Were you adopted?" The question hit me like a brick. "No. I don't think so. They never said anything." He turned his phone around. On the screen was a medical record database. He'd searched for David and Carol Brennan. No results. "That doesn't mean anything," I said. "Maybe the database is incomplete. This is a federal medical registry. Every legal guardian of children in that experimental program was required to be logged. Your parents aren't in the system." My throat went dry. "So what does that mean?" "It means someone removed you from the official records, and the only person who could do that was someone with high-level access to the program." I pulled my shirt back on. "This is insane. I'm just a normal person. I work in marketing. I have student loans. I'm not part of some medical conspiracy." Dr. Rains stood up. "I need to make a call. Don't leave. You can't keep me here. Please, just 5 minutes." He stepped into the hallway, and I heard him talking in urgent, hushed tones. I thought about running, but my legs wouldn't move. When he came back, his face was grave. "I just spoke to a colleague who worked adjacent to that program. She said there was one child who vanished from the records 3 months after the procedure. A baby girl. The researcher who led the program took her. Took her where? Nobody knows. The researcher's name was Dr. Helena Brennan." The room tilted. "Brennan? She disappeared with the child in June 1997. Authorities assumed she'd flee the country. They never found her." My voice came out as a whisper. "My mom's name is Carol, not Helena." Dr. Rains pulled up another image on his phone. A professional headshot of a woman in a white coat. Dark hair, sharp features, intense eyes. I'd seen that face every day of my life, just older, with graying hair and reading glasses. "That's my mom," I said. Dr. Rains sat back down. "The treatment was supposed to fail, but you're alive. That means it worked. You're the only survivor. Why would she hide me? Because if anyone knew the treatment worked, they'd want to study you, replicate it. You'd spend your entire life as a lab rat." I felt tears building. She gave up everything to keep me safe. She committed federal crimes, falsified documents, stole research. But yes, she kept you alive. Dr. Rains looked at me seriously. "I have to report this. It's my legal obligation. Please don't. I could lose my license." "She saved my life. Twice. Once with the procedure and once by taking me away from people who would have turned me into an experiment." He stared at me for a long moment. Then he deleted something on his phone. "You came in for a routine mole check. Everything looked normal. You can go." I stood up on shaking legs. "Thank you." As I reached the door, he spoke again. "Tell your mother I said she did good work." I drove home and found my mom in the kitchen making dinner like always. She looked up and smiled. "How was the appointment?" I walked over and hugged her without saying anything. She hugged me back, and I felt her body tense slightly. "You know," she whispered. "I know." She pulled back, eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry I lied. You saved me. That's all that matters." She nodded and wiped her eyes. We never spoke about it again, but I finally understood why she always told me I was her miracle.